In the book of John, chapter 10, in the New King James, in verse 22, it says, "Now it was the feast of dedication in Jerusalem, and it was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch." Notice how it says, "Now it was the feast of dedication." Now, what does that mean? The feast of dedication. I've never heard of that before. What's a feast of dedication? I mean, I've heard of the Feast of Passover and the Feast of Trumpets and the Feast of Tabernacles and the Feast of Weeks and Feast of First Fruits, but I've never heard of a Feast of Dedication before. What is that? Where is that found in the Old Testament? I know, I'll ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is the Feast of Dedication?
Hanukkah is a Jewish festival commemorating the recovery of Jerusalem and subsequent rededication of the Second Temple at the beginning of the Maccabean revolt against the Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century BC. Let me know if you'd like to hear more.
Yes, I'd like to hear more.
It is also known as the Festival of Lights. Hanukkah is observed for 8 nights and days, starting on the 25th day of Kislev according to the Hebrew calendar, which may occur at any time from late November to late December in the Gregorian calendar.
Wow. You mean when the Bible says in the book of John that it was the Feast of Dedication, the Hebrew word is Hanukkah. Dedication is English, Hanukkah is Hebrew. The Feast of Dedication. And Jesus took time out of his busy schedule to go to Jerusalem during the Feast of Dedication to the very temple which Judas Maccabee had rededicated. Oh, but the New Testament never references the Apocrypha. No. The 1611 King James Version of the Bible, the 400th anniversary edition. I bought this at Walmart for like $10 or something. And what this is it's a replica of the original printing of the King James Bible. You'll see that it says here that it is a page-by-page, digitally remastered replica of the original 1611 printing of the King James Bible. Now, check this out. When you go to John chapter 10, verse 22... Oh, by the way, this is my man Frodo. Anyway, in John chapter 10, verse 22, it says here, "And it was at Jerusalem the feast of the dedication. It was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch." Now, notice how there's a marginal note right here next to Feast of Dedication. And when you look it up in the margin, what does it say? It says, oh, look at that. 1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 59. Oh, but the New Testament never references the Apocrypha. No. The New American Bible. This is a Catholic translation, a Catholic Bible. And in the book of 1 Maccabees, in chapter 4, verse 59, which the King James referenced, it says, "Then Judas and his brothers and the entire congregation of Israel decreed that the days of the dedication of the altar should be observed with joy and gladness on the anniversary every year for 8 days from the 25th day of the month of Kislev." Notice how it says that they observed it for 8 days. Anybody who's listened to Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song knows that Hanukkah lasts for 8 crazy nights.
Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of 1 day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights.
And they celebrate Hanukkah on the 25th day of the month of Kislev. Notice how they celebrated the Feast of Dedication, which is what the King James Bible references in the margin. The Feast of Dedication, which Jesus celebrated in John 10:22. The New Testament references the book of 1 Maccabees. But even though the New Testament references the book of Maccabees, we don't want to read about it. Because after all, the New Testament never references the Apocrypha. No!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!